Back in the 80s and 90s, there was a great TV commercial that said, at BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make them better. I'd like to borrow that tagline to introduce our company to everyone and say, at Arm Insight, we don't make a lot of the banking products you use today, but we make them better. And how do we do that? We do that with data. So if you look at this file, isn't this beautiful? Not that one, this one. This is great, right? Arm Insight has built a business around taking transaction data like this and transforming it into analytics and insights for over 6,000 financial institutions. We're pretty good at it. However, there's more value in your data than just analytics and insights. There's opportunities for machine learning, AI, and even safe data monetization. However, even if you're able to clean this type of data, you still have PII and sensitive information in there that limits a lot of those initiatives. What if I told you there was a way that you could transform your data in a way that could turn it into a strategic asset while still not worrying about compliance and data privacy stuff like GDPR, GLBA, CCPA, YMCA, etc., right? So what I'd like to show you is how our patent-pending synthetic data engine enables organizations to transform their data into synthetic data for use in data science and other initiatives. So what I'd like to do here is come into our Arm Refinery configurable data tool. Now this is installed behind your firewall that enables you to ingest raw data files into here, and we clean and organize them in a way. I'd like to quickly show you how that's done, and then how we take a step further to actually create a fake and yet statistically relevant data set. So I'm going to configure a new data set in here. I've done this before, but I'm going to call it ABC Bank. I'm going to come through here, and I'm going to borrow a template from a debit file that we've used before. So it's going to load that template, and you're going to see all the different columns and data fields that are typical of a debit card. I'm going to leave it in the original form, because what we want to do is take that and put that into the clean and organized data set. Now, as I've run this, I'm going to now bring up AWS Redshift. And this is a database where this data has been loaded. And in here, you're going to now see, let me zoom in here, the clean and organized data. So you've got card number, customer name, social security number, et cetera. You can see that these customers are based in New York. Many of them are friends, et cetera, right? Now, this is sensitive information still. You've got PII and all the other things in here, so the limits on this data are pretty large of what you can do with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in to our refinery solution, and we're going to create a copy of this data file, and as we do, create a new version of it and call it ABC Bank Synth. Go back in here, and instead of leaving it in the original form, I'm going to synthesize all of these column fields. And what Mimic, our solution, is doing behind the scenes is it's now going to take these data fields and completely synthesize not only the PII and the other sensitive fields, but also change up the transaction data and amount a little bit so that it creates a completely fake yet statistically relevant data set. And as we do this, we're going to continue, verify that, run it. And then when I go into our database on the synthetic side, you can now see that the card number, the customer name, all of that data has been hashed. And then if we scroll over a little bit, you can come and see the transaction date and amount is still there, but it's been changed a little bit. Again, this data can now not be reverse engineered, not even by us. We even brought in a couple security firms to take this synthetic data and try to reverse engineer that back to the original source, and they still couldn't do it. So now you have a safe data set that enables you to expand your data universe and do various things with it. So there's 3 use cases I'd like to share with you. The first, obviously, internal data management and security. As a data executive or a business executive, you now feel comfortable sharing this synthetic data with data scientists, innovation labs, et cetera, without fear of data abuse, neglect, or even theft. Think about the data breaches and incidents that we've had recently. If there's a hack or a breach and it exposes synthetic data, it's fake. The only thing they can do with that is try to find insights in the data, but they can't create a false ID, they can't do false charges on that data. Now there's another use case for this, is internal innovation like machine learning and AI. I'd like to show you an example of a company that we work with that manages the credit card portfolio of many financial institutions. In here, they had data in various different silos and areas in the organization. They couldn't get at it. We were able to bring that data together, not only show the transaction details across an individual FI, but we were then able to go in and do peer analysis across different organizations, look at what they were doing against different groups, across different asset sizes, et cetera. We were also able to get into the merchant spending profiles. So if you as an organization wanted to know how it could create better loyalty, here's where your customers are spending their money. Here's how you can increase cardholder engagement. One of the more profitable use cases we think for financial services organizations today, though, with synthetic data is the idea of now you have a safe and secure way to share your transaction data insights outside of your organization with companies that are willing to pay for that access. I'd like to show you an example of how we were able to take synthetic data, take that outside the organization, and share it with a company that's interested in the specialty eyeglass and optical industry. Yes, there is an industry like that. What we were able to do is give this synthetic data to this organization. They were actually able to look at the average spend per transaction on each of these things. What was the spend per card, whether that was a debit card, an HSA, FSA card, credit card, et cetera, and competitive insights. This enabled them to really understand what's going on, and we do this for 1,000 financial institutions today. So I started this out by asking what could synthetic data do for your business? We think 3 key ways. Regulation and compliance executives now have access to safe data that doesn't put their organization at risk. Product and technology executives now have access to data to innovate on the next big thing. And finally, business executives now have access to data to help them with better decision-making capabilities and open up new revenue opportunities through safe and secure data monetization. To learn how synthetic data can transform your business, come visit us at our booth in the hall. Thank you.